Hello there, Full Size here with another video on Minecraft. Today we're going to be building an EMC generator. I know there are a lot of different designs for EMC generators out there, and as far as I can tell, there isn't a single one that even comes close to the output that this generator has, except for one which appears to be a knockoff of this design. I think what happened is somebody saw it laying around and tried to copy it without knowing exactly how it was built. And for the most part it works okay, but there are some major flaws that make it a lot worse. Namely, the original design generates a lot more EMC, and also the original design is a lot less laggy for dedicated servers. If you're playing a solo game, you probably don't care about lag, but at least on the server I play on, they've been known to cause a lot of issues because they are just far more resource intensive than they need to be to do the same job. So enough of that, let's get on to the build. So for the build today, you're going to need the following items: 2 solar panel 6, 3 auto crafting table Mark II, 3 logistic chassis Mark II, 8 logistic chassis Mark I, 14 basic logistic pipe, 2 void transport pipe, 7 energy condenser Mark II, a logistic power junction. You don't need a full stack of these, but I just grabbed a stack of them. I didn't count out how many you need, but you need some advanced extractor Mark IIIs, some item sync modules, a piece of high covalent dust, a diamond chest plate which is fully repaired, a diamond chest plate which is at 124 EMC, which is the last stage before breaking, a Redmatter block, a Redmatter furnace, and 4 Redmatter. Alright, so to get started with the build, the first thing you need is a small area to work in. It needs to be at least 3 blocks wide by 7 blocks long and 6 blocks tall. So to start with, come down to one end of it doesn't matter, and put down your logistic power junction. Now put down your 2 solar panels, one at the base and one up on top. Now take your energy condenser Mark IIs and make a sort of a stair step, like that. Around here on the end, you're going to put your 3 auto crafting tables, and then up on top of the last one, you're going to put an energy condenser, and then beside your first solar panel, you're going to put an energy condenser. Now for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call this the front, and this the back. This is the right hand end, and this is the left hand end. In reality, it really doesn't matter which way it's oriented. The next thing we're going to need to do is set up our build pattern in our tables. And the only reason we're doing this now, and it doesn't matter when you do it in the build, is just because they're really easy to get to right now. You won't accidentally click another pipe. So put a damaged diamond chest plate in the middle and surround it with high covalent dust. Do this on each table. Now take your wrench and right click each table until it's facing towards the back of the machine. For me, it's taking 2 clicks, but depending on how your machine is oriented with the world, it may take anywhere from 1 to 5 clicks to get it pointing the direction you want it to. Now, on the front side of the machine, take the 2 leftmost energy condensers on the bottom, and in the bottom one, set the target item to the damaged diamond chest plate, and put in 1 piece of red matter to kickstart it. The condenser right above it, you're going to set the target item as high covalent dust, and put in the other 3 red matter to kickstart it. Now these other condensers right here, these 2 here, that one and that one, you're going to set your target item on each of them to red matter block. And if you've seen, there's another video floating around that seems to be fairly popular where a guy did a similar build, but he used emerald blocks, I believe it was. And the problem with the emerald blocks is, yeah, they work fine, but it causes the machine to generate a lot more parts to do the exact same job. And so for dedicated servers, it creates more lag. And that might not seem like a big deal for one machine, but when 50 people on the server have one, and they're all generating 10% more lag than they need to, it adds up, believe me. So now we've got all 4 of these generating the red matter block, and then this one down on the end, we're going to set its target item as a red matter furnace. So what the machine will be doing is taking the damaged diamond chest plates, high covalent dust, putting it through the auto crafting table, repairing it, then turning the repaired diamond chest plate into the Redmatter blocks and then bringing it down here and turning it into the Redmatter furnace, which is the highest EMC stackable item in the mod pack that I'm playing on at least. So the next thing we want to do is take our Logistic chassis Mark 1s and put one on the front of each of these two condensers. These are the ones that are making your high covalent dust and your damaged diamond chest plate. Now, go ahead and move your advanced extractors and your item sync modules down into your hotbar. Select the advanced extractor, hold it just in your hand and right click up in the air somewhere so that you're not clicking on anything else, and then select the exclude option right here. Don't put anything in the item list, just set it to exclude. Now right click one time on each of these two chassis, and if we use our wrench you can see it put it in here. Now what that's going to do is it's going to try and pull these items out of these condensers as fast as possible and just dump them into the system. Other builds use quicksort modules. Again, this creates more unnecessary lag. A server, whether it's a solo game server or a multiplayer server, has to calculate for each one of these modules what it's going to do, pull an item out, keep track of where it's going, so on and so forth. So you could use a Mark V chassis with 20 quicksort modules between all of them, and the server has to keep track of 20 separate entities running around constantly, or you can just use the advanced extractor, which actually pulls parts faster out of the condenser and dumps them into the system than an entire Mark V chassis full of quicksorters. So again, to reduce lag on your servers, even if you have an old build, please update it to this to help everyone. So now let's go ahead and put down some basic logistic pipes all up the back side here, and then one more on the very top. And I've got to fix my boots. That's not where it goes. So now let's put these all the way up here, and then one more up on top, and then a void transport pipe on top of that. Now use your wrench, right click the basic transport pipe, and then hit import. Now what that does is it pulls out the requested items into the list that are going to be used in that table. Now we don't want both items, so just click import and then click the high covalent dust, leaving the damaged diamond chest plate. Alternatively, you could right click the pipe and just click and drag a damaged diamond chest plate up there. Personally, I find it a little bit faster to just do that than to click and drag and blah blah. But you can do it either way you want as long as you get them in there. Up here on the top, this condenser has a basic logistic pipe beside it. Don't do anything to that. The one above it, that's just below the void transport pipe, right click it and select default route and change that option to yes. Now we're going to put one more basic pipe there in the corner and then do the same thing up this side that we did over there. So now again, right click the pipe, hit import, but this time take out the damaged diamond chest plate, leaving the high covalent dust. And again, if you want to, you could simply click, drag, drop, and so on. Now this time, the basic logistic pipe beside this top condenser, you are going to set it, you can't do the import on it because it's making Redmatter blocks. So for it, you have to click and drag and drop the high covalent dust. Now what this is going to do is it's going to recycle a great deal of high covalent dust that would otherwise simply have gone into the void pipe. Now over on this side, we're going to take and put a row of Mark I chassis, and then beside that, 2 more Mark I chassis. Now take your Mark II chassis and fill it in behind these last 3 condensers, like that. Now take your advanced extractor modules. You can double check, but you don't need to do anything to them. They're already set on extract. And right click each of these Mark I condensers down this row one time, putting one in each one of them. Do not put one in these 2 Mark I chassis. However, while you still have them in your hand, put one in each of these Mark II chassis. Now select your item sync modules, hold them in your hand, right click out in open space, and set the requested item to the repaired diamond chest plate. Once you have that selected, put one in each of these 5 chassis right here. You can't put one in these because they only hold one and they already have one. So put one in these 5. Alright, that's the end of that. Now take a basic logistic pipe and put it right here between your last chassis and your condenser, which is going to give power from the logistic power junction to this entire side and give a route for parts to get over to this condenser. Use your wrench, right click against the chassis, and then the requested item is going to be the Redmatter block. Don't get it confused with the Redmatter furnace. They look almost identical, but you can hover over it and see the name. Alright, so now that that's done, come back around to the front side of the machine, and if we did everything right, it should power up, turn on, and start working as soon as we place these last two logistic pipes. We see parts start flowing. Over here, the chest plates are moving, and we see red blocks coming in here. The Redmatter blocks are dropped into this condenser, and they are turned into Redmatter furnaces. If you want to double check your build, just go around to each of the tables and confirm that yes, they are using parts. You sometimes don't even see a plate here because it's pulling them out that fast. But you can see that parts are being used, so obviously they're being pulled out. That one's working, and then our recycling condenser up here, you can see how fast it's making Redmatter blocks. With other versions of this machine that I've seen, all of this would have simply been tossed into a void pipe, completely wasting all that EMC. Alright, it appears to be working perfectly. Now, just to demonstrate how powerful this machine is for generating EMC, I'm going to change the target item on our final condenser to Redmatter, and then I'm going to simply let it run for 1 minute so that you can see how much it produces in that time. Alright, 1 minute starting just then when I pulled out the last of that Redmatter. And I'm going to put all the rest of this stuff back into my tablet so there's no confusion about what the machine generated. We're getting close to our minute. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling this out so I can get it down to the second if possible. And there we have it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stacks of Redmatter and another 48. So 64 times 7 plus 48, that's 496 Redmatter in 1 minute. Divided by 60 is 8.3 Redmatter per second. That's not bad at all. The other version of this machine that you may have seen around only generates about 4.5 Redmatter a second. So this machine's generating almost twice as much Redmatter in 1 minute, and it's far less laggy because it's using a lot less parts and recycling a lot of parts rather than voiding them, and using a lot less modules to do the same exact job. This is not the best EMC generator that you can build, but it's probably the best one you ever need to build. This is making so much EMC, it's just ridiculous. No one could ever use EMC that fast. You could support yourself and a small group of friends or even a community on a public server just using EMC from this one machine. Now, I'm going to fly over here and show you an expanded version of the same machine. This is basically exactly the same machine. The only difference is that I've got more condensers to convert the repaired diamond chest plates into Redmatter. And I put 6 more auto crafting tables on it, and I don't have that recycling condenser up here. Now the reason is, this is based on an efficient design method whereby this condenser here is making the high covalent dust. The single advanced extractor in here can only support enough material to feed 9 tables. So I could put a 10th table on here, but it would never get any high covalent dust. Okay? This machine makes 20.5 Redmatter per second. It is ridiculously fast, and yeah, you can build it based on that other one, just add more condensers, converting, well, I've got this one set up on Redmatter, but converting to your Redmatter blocks, and put 6 more tables so that you have a total of 9. Other than that, all the basic mechanics of the machine are exactly the same, and on the back side, you're simply going to use more Mark II chassis set up the same way as the 3 on the top left of the previous machine that we just built. So that's it. That's the machine. I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope that you try this on your private game or your server. Let me know in the comments how it turned out. And by all means, if you have other EMC generators that can generate more EMC than this, please let me know. But I've been asking for a long time, and so far, nobody's been able to come up with one. So I think this is the best design that you can possibly get. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.